Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this Valentine's Day bandana. What you're going to be needing today is 2 skeins of Aunt Lydia's crochet thread in a classic 10. I'm going to be using in pink and red. You can choose whatever colors you want. I used a 1.75mm crochet hook, and other than that you just need scissors. I'm going to be using the same kind of granny square that I did in my last video for the hand warmers, but I'm going to show you how to do it again in this video. First off, we're going to start with the magic ring. We're going to chain 3 into the magic ring and then make 11 double crochets. You should now have the equivalent of 12 double crochets in your magic ring. You're going to want to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 in order to close your circle. For our next step for the heart, we're going to be making 8 triple crochets into the 3rd stitch from where we are working. Then we are going to be double crocheting into the next 2 stitches. In the next stitch, we are going to double crochet and then triple crochet into the same stitch. Then you're going to chain 1 to make the point of your heart, and then in the next stitch you're going to make a triple crochet and then a double crochet in the same stitch. Pretty much you're going to be mirroring the other side on this side. Then double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And then work 8 triple crochets into the next stitch. After you complete the 8 triple crochets, you want to slip stitch into the first and last stitches of round 1 to complete your heart. After you've done this, you can fasten off and cut your red yarn. In order to keep your heart from either unraveling or just to keep its shape better, what I like to do is flip it over and tie both of the strings together in a knot on the back before cutting the strings shorter, just to keep it in the right shape. Now it's time to start the square around the heart. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your second color, which in my case is the rose pink, and we're going to attach it to the 4th triple crochet that we made in the last round. You're going to want to make sure to get this part right, because if you don't get it in the 4th one, then your heart is going to be lopsided in the square. After you get your yarn attached, you're going to want to chain 3. Then you're going to want to double crochet into the same stitch. Followed by a half double crochet in the next stitch. A single crochet in the stitch after that. A half double crochet in the next stitch. A double crochet in the next stitch. A triple crochet in the following stitch. And then we are going to work one of the corners. So in the next stitch, you're going to make 2 triple crochets, followed by a chain 2, and then 2 more triple crochets all in the same stitch. Then we're going to make a double crochet in the next stitch, a half double crochet in the next stitch, a single crochet right into the point of the heart, half double crochet into the next stitch, a double crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to work another bottom corner. So in the following stitch again, we are going to make 2 triple crochets followed by a chain 2 and then 2 triple crochets. Then you're going to be making 1 triple crochet into the next stitch, a double crochet into the next stitch, a half double crochet into the next stitch, and then a single crochet, followed by a half double crochet, and then we're going to make a top corner which is going to be shorter. So it's going to be 2 double crochet followed by a chain 2 and 2 double crochet all into the same stitch. Then into the next stitch we are going to make a half double crochet, and then we are going to double crochet 2 together. So we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop through 1 stitch, pull up a loop through the next stitch, yarn over and pull through 3, and you should have 2 loops left, and then yarn over and pull through those 2 loops as well. And then we are going to triple crochet in between the first and last of round 1, or into the same stitch that we slip stitched in the last one. And then we are going to again double crochet 2 together, and then we are going to half double crochet and finish up our starting corner. So in the stitch that we started in, we are going to make 2 double crochet and then chain 2 and slip stitch it into the top of our chain 3. After completing this row, you should have 9 stitches on each side of the square with a chain 2 in every corner. For our next round, we're going to chain 3 and then double crochet into the chain 2 space. Then we're going to double crochet into each of the next 9 stitches, and you want to make sure that you get the ones that are really close. Some of them are going to be almost under where you're working, so just make sure that you get 9 on that side. Once you have your 9 stitches done, you should be right at the chain 2 space. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 double crochets and a chain 2 and 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. And you're just going to be repeating this the whole way around with doing 9 double crochets on each side, or 1 double crochet in each of the 9 double crochets, and then a 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet into each of the chain 2 spaces all the way around the square. To end off the last corner, you're again just going to do 2 double crochet and a chain 2 and then join at the top of your chain 3. You are going to need 9 of these hard granny squares for this project. Next, we're going to be making the half granny squares. You're going to start by making a magic ring or a chain 5, whatever you prefer. In this case, the chain 5 would have probably worked better because it would have stayed closed better than the magic ring. And what you're going to do is you're going to chain 3, then you are going to make 4 double crochets into the magic ring. Then you're going to chain 2 for the corner and then make 5 double crochets into the magic ring. That is the end of our first row. So now we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. Make 1 double crochet into the same, or into the first stitch, the same stitch as your chain 3 is on. Then you are going to double crochet into the next 4 stitches, which should take you right to the chain 2. In the chain 2 space, we're going to be doing the same as before. We're going to make 2 double crochets, followed by a chain 2 and 2 double crochets again. Then double crochet down your row, but make 2 double crochets into the top of your chain 3. For our final row, we're going to start with a chain 3 and turn your work again. Then we are going to make 2 double crochets into the same stitch as our chain 3. Then we're going to work double crochets in each stitch across until we reach the chain 2 space. In the chain 2 space, you're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets, just like the previous round. And then you're going to double crochet again to the end of the row. And in the chain 3, you're going to make 3 double crochets and then fasten off your yarn, and that's it for the half squares. You're going to need 7 of these in total for our bandana. here I'm just going to show you kind of the setup, and you're going to want one on each of these and then one for the tip yet. And now it's time to sew everything together. This is by far the worst part of the project, not gonna lie. You can do this with a yarn and needle, or you can just chain it together like I'm gonna do. I thought it would look better with a chain to join them all, but you can do whatever you prefer. I'm just gonna kind of show you my method that I used for this. You're gonna start by joining them together in the corners, preferably from front to back. Not like I'm doing right now. I'll fix it in a second. So you're going to want to pull your yarn up through both squares from behind and kind of make a slip knot right at the start just to keep them together. It gets a lot easier to join them as you have more squares connected, so the first two is the hardest part. This part was a little harder to show on camera because it was a little fiddly, but I hope you're able to see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to kind of bring the yarn through my loop to kind of make a slip knot in order to hold it. And then I'm going to bring my yarn behind it shortly, because so I can keep pulling it up through much easier. It just helps sometimes to position it in the right place. And then what you're going to do is you're going to constantly be working on the outside loops. Just go through one and then go through the same on the other just to try and keep them aligned. And then pull up a loop through all three loops that are going to be on your hook. I'm going to see if I can show you guys a little better. So just through one loop on the one square, and then you're going to go through the same loop on the other square, and then you're going to yarn over and pull that one through all three loops that should be on your hook. And you're just going to want to use this method to join all the squares. It works the best for me to work in rows upward, joining them all together, and then do the across portions. Pretty much you want to work in a continuous line as long as possible so that you don't have a bunch of breaks in the chain as you go. So this is the layout of how I'm going to be joining them. As you can see, I didn't really start at a very good place, so I'm going to have one break in my chain, but that's alright. So I'm just going to show you here what I did. As you can see, I'm working in lines straight up, connecting all the corner pieces and the squares in the main section first. Like I said before, just trying to connect the longest sections of it at the start so that I can have less breaks and just make it a lot easier and neater for myself. And here you go. That's when everything is joined together. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make a round of single crochets all the way around just to make the edge a lot neater. This will make the lace edge a lot easier for us to connect if we have specific stitches to work into. I left a couple stitches available at the corner so that after I finish the strap on the last round I would have a nice place to connect it. So this part, nothing that complicated. You just want a single crochet all the way across the top edge. In the connecting spaces here, it can be a little more tricky, so what I did is I made 2 single crochets in the first chain 2 space, and then skipped across the joining chain and made 2 single crochets in the next chain 2 space. just to bring it all together nicely. One thing that is really helpful to do at this stage is, as you're single crocheting around, try to hide the tails as you go along so there's less weaving in to do at the end. Once you reach this edge, it's going to be not quite as straightforward as where to put your stitches, but just work as best you can in the spaces that you have and try to make them evenly spaced. There's not a certain number that you need or anything. You just want to work down as best you can. I'll try and show you close up what I'm doing. In the larger spaces, I made like 2 single crochets, and then I tried to make 1 in between just to kind of join them together, but it's not that picky. Once you reach around, we're going to just slip stitch onto our first single crochet, and then we are going to single crochet across the top to our first corner where we're going to start our first strap, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, so once you reach your corner, it's time to start our string. So we're going to chain 150, or however long you need it, but if this is for a pet, you probably won't need it so long, depending on, the width of whatever you're tying it around. But I did this just for wearing over my hair, so I did a chain of 150. Once you reach the end of your 150, you're going to half double crochet your way all the way down. Once you get back down your chain, you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch just to join it to the body, and then it's time to start our double crochet shells. So what I did for this is I skipped 1 and then did 6 double crochet into the second stitch from where I'm working. After you have 6 double crochets into the same stitch, you're going to skip the next stitch and then slip stitch into the second stitch from where you're working, just to complete the shell look. Then you're going to repeat that step again by skipping the next stitch and then doing 6 double crochets into the second stitch from where you slip stitched. And then again, you are going to skip the following stitch and slip stitch it into the second one to, again, finish the shell. And you're just going to repeat this the entire way around until you reach the other corner where the next string is supposed to go. now that we've reached our other corner, we're going to slip stitch into our next stitch and then chain 150 and half double crochet our way down again to make our second string. Alright, and I've almost finished half double crocheting down my chain. Once you do make it to the end, you're going to want to single crochet into the following stitch just to join it back to the body. And then you are going to single crochet all the way up to your joining point just to finish the round. And there you are going to slip stitch into your starting double crochet and fasten off. Of course, you're going to want to go back and weave in some of the ends that we have still sticking out, but that is the end of this project. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. If you guys plan on making this, or if you just got some sort of inspiration from it, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe.